All right, welcome everybody back to the Monkey Man and the Fatboy Show. You're in the Animal Den, now sponsored by Animal Marketing, where we can do all your shit. Just get a hold of us. How you doing, bro?
What's going on?
Hey!
Bill Cosby.
Man, dude, couldn't see that one coming.
Right? What, were you dope too?
It's just funny, dude. At least those women are getting their justice and seeing him. I don't think he's gonna do any time though.
He'll do time.
You think so?
Yeah. But I think he'll do it in a cush.
Oh yeah.
Camp
Cupcake.
place. Yeah, right. It'll be some hospital because he's, blind and everything else is deliberate.
Yeah.
His faking of him being sick.
Yeah. That I saw that. Cause wasn't he supposed to be blind a while back?
Well, he doesn't have bad
eyesight.
What's that called?
What is it? Yeah, my mom always tells me, make sure you get your eyes checked because you want to make sure you don't have glaucoma.
Yeah. No.
Is it glaucoma or?
I think it's cataracts.
Bad cataracts. You're right.
Yeah, because this is when your lens gets all cloudy and stuff like that.
Well, you can see the discoloration in his eye, can't you?
Oh yeah. It's bad. It is bad. That's the only way that you can officially say that.
Speaking of bad, I mean that interview he did years before. That initial interview, that looked bad, dude. I mean, you go back and you watch that and you're like, yeah, this motherfucker's guilty, dude.
Yeah. And what kind of what threw a monkey wrench in the whole situation was Janice Dickinson.
Yeah.
The first model.
Yeah.
Global model, whatever. And she straight up lied.
Yeah, she's always got some kind of issue going on. It's almost like her valid. I don't know. It almost takes away from her validity.
Well, see, and that's just it. I think she lost that a long time ago when she started doing, those shows where she
those
was
reality shows.
Yeah, and being a drug addict, and she's been a pill pop.
Yeah,
she probably gave Bill Cosby some pills
to give her.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I mean, I'm not trying to victim blame or blame victim. However, everyone knows that she's been a junkie for decades.
Yeah. And when you go on TV and you go on, reality TV and you're kind of selling yourself as that, you know what I mean? She just doesn't have what she used to have, and I feel like she feels like she needs to constantly be in the light.
And that's another thing too. When is it too much?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
Yeah.
I mean. Mm-hmm. You had your time. Mm-hmm. She was a very beautiful lady at one point in time.
Right. But she started doing drugs as a model, didn't she? Isn't that what messed her career up?
Pretty much. When you become an international star like that, as she was, it wasn't. There wasn't a lot. Let's put as far as her to hang out with,
right?
Of like amongst others, She was, like they said, she was the first international American model,
right. Before Cindy came along. We're dating ourselves, bro.
Swing.
Now speaking about people with personalities like that, what is going on with Kanye West, dude? I mean, dude.
It's Kanye West, man.
Yeah, dude, that dude's got some daddy issues, man.
Well, first of all, he's coming through a broken home.
Yeah.
Chicago native.
Mm-hmm.
From the streets, from the hood. He got some street cred, probably.
Right.
Who knows?
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's entitled to his opinion. We all are.
And then that's just it. He's always been outspoken. He's always been one of those guys that, he doesn't care.
Right.
He doesn't give a shit. Now that he's part of the Kardashian clan, I think his brain is just melted even more. I mean, come on. Yeah,
it's crazy. I mean, his behavior in a nutshell is crazy.
There's a difference between being an artist, having talent,
and then like all of a sudden the family's saying all this stuff, so it's like it just makes you wonder, like, is this something that's been planned? You know what I mean? It's just weird, the timing of it.
Again, man, this is the Kardashian family.
Yeah. Like them or not, the power is there.
And like I've always said, where there's power, where there's money, there's power.
Yeah.
They do got money. I mean, they got money because people are allowed to watch that crap, and it feeds them into their head, this and that, how do you turn into a Hollywood elite?
Right.
Because your daughter has a sex tape out there.
Yeah. And it's almost like
I don't get it.
Because I remember, now this had to have been planned, but like I remember when Kim was gonna pose for Playboy. And she was talking about having a contract with Playboy saying that she wasn't gonna take her clothes off. It's like, well, you don't go on Playboy and not. I mean, well, there was a little window there where they started doing the non-nudes or whatever, but so in my opinion, that was way before. In my opinion, that was just part of the show. You know what I mean? Because then it became this drama between the mom and her about as to the mom was trying to say, "Hey, you take your clothes off." You know what I mean? And that it's kind of disturbing when the mom's the one who's deciding whether or not she's taking her clothes off and or leaving it on. But like I said, that in my opinion, that seems like it could have been planned.
Again, though, it's all about the mighty dollar, dude.
Yeah.
It's all about. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's all about the money, man, and that's again, the mom, you gotta understand, isn't a mother. Hasn't been a mother for a while.
Right. She's checked out.
Manager.
Yeah, she's checked out as a mom. Yeah, for sure.
For
sure.
And that's her job.
Mm-hmm.
That's her job now. She's a manager. And her number one thing is to protect her clients. And her clients are her kids, unfortunately.
Right.
So whatever brings in money is bringing in money. I mean, she done sold their. I mean, they sold themselves out too. But it's.
So with that said, do you remember when Kendall and Kylie came out with that brand of T-shirts that had like their faces on them, but it was like with rock albums and stuff like that?
Very vaguely.
Yeah. So it's like, I wonder if they launched that on their own, because the mom had to have known better. You know what I mean? She's a business. Connoisseur.
She probably had her hand in it one way or the other.
Let's see how far we can push this.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's Kardashians, man.
Moving on to relevant shit. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I got a bone to pick with CNN, bro. I was on there maybe. It was after our last show, about maybe a week or two after our last show. Now, Bernie had said some stuff, and they blew it out of proportion. They did this article where it was like, how what Bernie is saying is going to hurt you. And it's like, didn't you guys learn the first time around? Like, you guys are part of the reason that all this stuff is happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you just doing the same thing? You know what I mean?
Like I said the last time, accountability.
Yeah. And see, there is none.
There's none.
There's none.
They don't have to.
And that's why I say, like on the last episode, if somebody comes up and says, "Hey, this is what's wrong with," I can't back them up.
And unfortunately, because whether they do it on purpose to start a conversation, okay, I get that, I understand that, it's how it's supposed to be, this and that. But when it's forced down one way or the other to be the way they want it to be. Exactly. Pushing their agenda.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so hard to watch. Either one of them or all of them. And just like that scandal that happened, where all news outlets said the exact same thing. Did you hear about that?
No.
Oh man,
what was it pertaining to?
It was crazy because I caught a little bit of wind about it, and
come on, this is if you sell cell phones, this is your window.
This is what happened was, I did not know, or maybe I was just I shouldn't say that. due to my ignorance in the media,
Yeah.
The way it works,
Mm-hmm.
there's like one place that directs all media, and I didn't know that.
Was it like AP or? I've never heard this. Now, and I mentioned it slightly last episode, but if you don't know, like Ted Turner is the owner of CNN, and Rupert Murdoch is the owner of Fox News. Now, before Fox News and CNN, the reliable sources of news were ABC, CBS, and NBC. You know what I mean? So when I look at those reporters and I look at those anchors, to me, they hold more validity. You know,
Yes.
There's just a flaw there when somebody's trying to put out their own news. Yeah, granted, you can't take anything away from them because they've built this empire, but, there's been a lot of articles I've been reading on CNN lately where there's typos, and it's just like, dude, this is bad.
Yeah, it's different if they were to be hacked and whatnot. I've seen clips where
shit like that.
People
I can see that.
Have hacked the teleprompters and stuff like that. It's crazy. It's funny stuff.
I'm going to try and insert that video here, but remember that news anchor where it was like that plane had gone down? I think it was an Asian plane, I mean.
Yeah.
And we now got the names of the people who...
Something Wong.
Yeah. Bing Ding Ao. It's like, how do you not, you know what I'm saying?
It was funny.
Check your sources, man.
Yeah. And that's just it.
That's some fucked up shit. But with that, while you're looking for that, when I had posted that thing on Hannity, the only reason I wanted to talk about that is just because it's that mentality that I was telling you about that Cohen had, about everybody thinks that they can start acting like Trump now. But there's that famous saying that goes, pride comes before the fall. You know what I mean? When people start getting very high and mighty, eventually you're going to crash. You know what I mean? And it's funny how right after Kimmel apologized for their going back and forth, and I don't want to get into it, but like you guys can look it up if you guys are interested in know what I'm talking about. But Kimmel and Hannity were going back and forth, and then Kimmel apologized to get out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then a couple days later, it was like Hannity's involved, so it was like, on Kimmel's part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
again, Jimmy Kimmel needs to settle down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he pushes the envelope a lot. He does. I mean, and a lot of people got mad at Jimmy Fallon for having Trump on the show. You know?
Yes, but again, two different things.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
I know Jimmy
just like any other president that's been on late night shows and stuff like that. It's cool. It's always been in fun.
Yes.
Not that Trump is fun.
But it doesn't make him any different, though. He's a president. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. There's still got to be respect there, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But with Jimmy Kimmel, though...
He's got a chip on his shoulder because of that whole thing with his son, and
and I understand it, and it's a sad situation and an ordeal, and I think he needs to know his place a little bit.
It's like misguided anger almost.
It's like, okay, you're a nighttime host.
Yeah, and I think that had to have been pointed out to him for him to apologize. I mean, there had to have been people saying, "Hey, well, let's watch where we're walking." Here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly, because when you're towing that line and stuff like that, you're playing with ratings.
Oh yeah.
Your ratings depicts whether you're going to get paid or not.
Right.
Whether you're going to sign again or be replaced.
It's
replaceable.
It's the whole Orson Welles thing. You go up against a tyrant, dude. Your career can end. Look at Kathy Griffin, dude.
She's still trying.
I know.
She's still trying.
I know.
Same hit or not.
Yeah, I know.
No, okay. I'll go back.
So who was it? What? I never heard of this before.
Okay, I found it. Sorry. All right. What happened was that a few months back,
right,
this group called the Sinclair Broadcast Group.
Okay.
And what they are...
That sounds familiar.
They're like...
gatekeepers?
Man, they're the ones that... Let's put it this way. What they want to put out into the news, they do it... Boom, push send. And all the news outlets pretty much get
have
that.
access
And they're like,
to it.
oh, okay, we better report this. Okay. So basically, it was a scripted monologue mandated by their superiors and repeated verbatim across the country.
Everywhere?
Everywhere.
Really?
But I'm talking verbatim. It was hilarious.
So, like, you could go from one clip of a network to another to another.
Yes.
It's exactly the
go
same.
on YouTube and
there's videos
we'll
of
it.
it.
Dude, it's hilarious. I mean,
wow.
But that's how scary it is that there's one specific group, one business that has that power.
That's propaganda, man. I mean, if you look at it, if you think about it, that's propaganda.
Exactly. So it discredited a lot of for the media's sake. You know, they're like, wait a minute, hold on. But, you know, people are like, well, what's this? You know, this news person over here in Atlanta is saying this. This person in New York saying the exact same thing.
LA,
you know?
Miami.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So whatever, and I you'd have to look to see, but I need to look up that date specifically.
Yeah.
And see what they actually said and what they were reporting on.
Right.
You know, but it, again, I mean, when you think about that, it discredits a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I can look at it and be like, really? Paula Sandoval, you're part of that?
Right.
You know?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Or any other local news, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, really? And I didn't know that there's that. And it's called the Sinclair Group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I got to look that up.
Yeah, dude, because you're gonna look and be like, wait a minute, if it's just like that,
right?
And whatever they put out, and it's a mandate, and you boom, and it's verbatim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy.
Sketchy, dude.
That is some sketchy shit. That's some sketchy shit,
dude. That's when I kind of was starting to like, man.
Yeah.
I was like, how controlled is this now?
Right.
You know, versus. Different, you know, but it was crazy because it was CNN affiliates, it was Fox affiliates, it was NBC, you know, the whole 9 yards, and it was crazy that this thing spread throughout the country like that.
And you're only seeing it in one city, so you have no frame of reference. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You have to take it for what it is at face value.
But then that look how easy it is for one company to push their agenda throughout the whole country if they wanted to.
Right. Man, it's disturbing.
It's scary.
It's disturbing.
You know, because now I know how easy it is that they could put pandemonium across the airwaves. Right. Like that.
Yeah.
So you have to look into it, man. It's pretty sketchy. I mean, I was like, this is crazy. And it's funny because they're showing news clips from here. Here.
I got to look that up so I can include it in here while we're talking about it. I'd like to see that.
It's crazy. It really is. And
shifting gears a little bit, bro. Like, now I'm not gonna tell you what town I live in, but all I can tell you is that it has a lot It has a lot in common with the movie Rocky. I'll just say that. Now, you doing the show here and coming to my house and being here in the studio, you've seen like the damage going on here with this leaky, you know, this house we bought 2 years ago, who was sold to us by the city. Inspection done by the city. I don't know if you remember, I was living down in an apartment complex owned by the city, and they went to open a water main that wasn't capped. And that water main ran underneath our bedroom, flooded our apartment, 2.5 feet of water. And when we went to talk to the city about making our claim, they were like, well, we're not your golden goose, but you fucked our shit up. You know what I'm saying? So, long story short, we had that first situation happen. Now, I have to ask you, do you feel like attorneys, having been members of the bar, and judges being members of the bar, you know what I mean? Do you think there's a so-called mini club in like police stations, for instance?
Of course.
Okay. Is there the same thing going on in the bar?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So as a citizen, if I were to go in to small claims, right?
Yes.
There's a bias there already.
Yes.
You know
That's why, like, if anything like that, if any, situations come up and friends ask me or family members ask me, so like that, Luke, do you know a good lawyer?
Yeah.
This is snap, blah, blah, blah. And depending on what it is, I'll throw out a couple names out there, so like that. But anything that has to do with cities, state, county, any township,
they're all tied
like
in together, bro.
You have to go outside the county.
Yeah. So what I did was, I contacted the city because they're the ones who bought this house and redid it, whatever. Repurposed it. This thing has been going on for the 2 years we've been here. It happened right away, dude. So, with that said, I contacted the company who worked on the house, and all he said was like, I'm gonna look into the legal aspects of it. If you don't hear back from me, call me back in a week. Didn't hear back from him. Called him back in a week. Went into the same spiel about I'm gonna look into the legalities. Had all these questions for me, and I finally just said, look. At this point, I'm gonna have to tell you that I might have to seek representation. I said simply because there's a bias here. If I go into small claims court, the people who are gonna defend you are a part of the bar. Yes. The judge is a part of the bar. There's a bias there. I am a person. I said, I'm not going to be treated fairly. I said, that's just a fact. Yes. I said, with that said, I would have to challenge that. I said, and ask to be put in front of a jury. I said, because that's the only way that I'm going to be heard. Mm-hmm. Dude hung up on me. You know what I'm saying? He hung up on me. He didn't like that. 2 days later, we hear back from our real estate agent. They tracked down all the people that they needed to track down and said, take care of this. You know what I'm saying? If you don't speak up, dude, they're going to take advantage of you.
And that's just it. And unfortunately, when you have to come down, people, I'm telling you one thing right now, do not be scared. Don't be afraid. Don't feel any way, for exception of trying to do what you're trying to do and what the outcome of what you want.
You have rights.
And like I was telling I was like, hey, get this checked into. Yeah. This is not good.
The situation is that we have a leaky roof. We don't believe that the chimney was done right. We don't believe that the chimney or the roof was inspected at all. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And as a result, we're getting water coming through our chimney. Basically, it's ran through our kitchen on the ceiling. The paint's coming off. My wife and I worked very hard to buy this house. You know what I mean? And now it's turning into a situation where we're starting to notice that there's black mold building up. You know what I mean? And we need to take care of it, and we needed to take care of it last week. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's that dire for me because I cannot sleep. You know what I mean? I have a 9-year-old, and that's why I can't sleep. You know what I mean?
And like I said, to call that guy that, what you did.
Right.
And he knew right off the bat.
Yeah.
And said, dude, it's been going on for a while. Right. So, for a contractor to come in and let you know, But check this out, people. Seriously, do not be scared at the most to seek, a lawyer. Seek representation, because I'll tell you what, most people will back down.
Yeah.
As soon as you say, okay, from here on out, next time you call me or I'll call you, I will be asking that if I can record this conversation.
Yes, exactly. You have to think twice.
And from
about
here
being
on
compliant.
it's going to be going through a lawyer now.
Yeah. Because he asked me a question. I said, at this point, I'm not going to answer any more questions.
As soon as you throw legality into their face, they're either going to be like, well, bring it.
Yeah, he was on it.
Or he hung up. Or they're going to say...
I called him back just to be like, hey, man, this ain't personal, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I got a family.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just it. That's like I tell everybody else, too. And I was like, if it's a legitimate reason and a concern and or for safety and this and that, yes, seek it.
Yeah.
Seek help. Because as soon as you go to, especially schools, my kid's getting beat up by this bully.
Right.
What are you going to do?
Stick up for your children, man.
Like, I ain't going to do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what?
Right.
I'm going to get my lawyer, and we're going to come in here to the school.
Yeah.
Whoa. No.
Right.
Yeah, you start seeing some dogs with their tails with
right. They'll start listening to you then.
Exactly. But no, I always tell them, I was like, man.
Yeah.
It's like that. I don't let that stuff go down with my kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But again, and dude, I'm telling you.
And I let them know too. I said, well, just to let you know, we do a podcast. You know what I'm saying? And if I have to talk about it, I will. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. And that's just it, because, unfortunately, if you don't do nothing about it,
they'll take advantage if they can. You know what I mean?
And that's just it.
Right.
And the city is saying, "Oh, we're not your golden goose."
Yeah, that's an insult, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like
that's telling me, really.
Exactly, dude.
You think?
Exactly. They were like, we'll give you a percentage back of what you, and it's like, so it's like we drove all of our stuff out.
Yeah, it's like, okay, wait, do you got renter's insurance? Well, claim that on your renter's insurance.
Exactly.
No.
Right. So this is, like I said, the second time that we've had to deal with this.
No, but yeah, if I were you, like I said, when it comes down to fighting with the big dogs,
Oh yeah, I looked it up.
I would say that to go outside the county.
Yeah.
For representation. That way, it ain't the same guys that are going to the golf course together.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's that whole buddy. You know what I'm saying?
Mary Ann and Elizabeth, wives, are getting together,
As a citizen, you can make a complaint against the police if you think that they're doing something wrong. But if you go through that process, you're going to find that it's very hard. Because the second you tell a police officer, I need to file a complaint against a police officer, right away they're going to be like, what's your name? Do you have an ID? And once you give them that ID, you're fucked. You know what I mean? Because then they're going to be like...
the green light on
on everything, bro. They're going to be like, have you been smoking something? You know what I mean? Like, they'll right on the spot, dude, they'll start basically... You're the issue, and I'm gonna try and get something on you right now.
Oh, you have a history of this, and that. Right. It's like we looked up your report.
You've been arrested before, right? Just right on the spot, dude. Like look that shit up, you'll find it.
Oh, they do it all the time.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's just, man, it's.
Hey, they gotta protect their own.
Exactly. Exactly.
But that's how it is with the whole. I got in a conversation last night. Got in a little argument.
Mm-hmm. No.
Of the whole situation of the Rock Island County courthouse.
What?
Okay, they want to knock it down. This and that, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, over the course of the last 6 years...
They want some, high-tech new building or something, don't they?
Yeah, well, of course. At our taxpayers'
right. We're paying for
account.
It. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the funny thing, but the state's going to give us millions of dollars,
right. Isn't that fucked
Bullshit.
up? Isn't that fucked up, though, how you could pay for a building like that, and yet you have to respect that room that you're in?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So this is what the situation happened. Finally, I was like, read on this Rock Island County board or whatever about what to do with the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, personally, I think anybody that was on the board,
right,
or on the board now,
right,
should be fired. Fined heavily, thousands of dollars.
What was your reasoning?
The whole entire time that the county buildings are occupied.
Right.
There is a board as such that is supposed to take care and maintain the facilities. You know what I'm saying?
That's a shitty
That's their job. I mean, it's their job.
Right.
They're the ones that, hired the janitors. They're supposed to do their job and whatnot.
Right.
They're supposed to have inspectors come in, make sure that the building's okay to be in.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, all of a sudden, 6 years ago or so, whatever, this building, we can't be in here no more. The asbestos is bad, this and that, blah, blah. Okay, understandable.
Right.
Back then, though, when they first had reports, stuff should have been taken care of.
Right.
What's our tax money going to?
Mm-hmm.
Besides 80% of our taxes go to freaking pensions.
Yeah.
Which needs to change. And here they want to knock this building down.
Mm-hmm.
This huge ass building, beautiful big building.
Right.
That if they were to clean it and fix it up or whatever, it's going to be a certain amount of millions of dollars.
Right.
It's like another $500,000 more. They can just knock it down and build a whole new one.
Right.
However, again, it's going to be at our expense.
Yeah.
They'll raise the city tax.
Right.
Again.
Right.
Or county taxes.
On top of everything they've already raised.
Exactly. And of course they'll probably throw in that, hey, board members, we're going to give you a raise too.
Yeah.
Might as well, we got to renegotiate our contract.
Might as well.
And I called the dude out, and this dude gave me a long spiel, right? That must be on the newer board now.
Right.
And he's like, oh, blah, 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 this and that, blah,
The
blah.
walk around,
I just got on here 6, years ago. We replaced those people, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
We inherited this mess, basically. I understand that.
Right.
But that was 6 years ago.
Right.
If you knew that coming in, why weren't you the first one to speak?
See, that's what we've talked about in the past. When things are changing and you want to, benefit from cuts, then you make your cuts. But once you make those cuts, you need to start benefiting. You know what I'm saying? So 6 years is a long margin. I mean,
6 years.
That's a big gap.
The police station, got a new police station.
Right.
This is that, blah, blah.
Right.
What was wrong with the old one? I wasn't big enough. It was like a 5-story building.
Right.
They moved into a 2-story building.
There is a new jail?
Yeah, a new Rock Island Police Department, yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
It's like a block down from the
I know where it's... Yeah, I have seen that.
But, again, I was like, wait a minute.
Where was it before? It wasn't a part of the courthouse?
No, it was just basically 2 blocks down the street.
Okay.
Okay. By the other county buildings and stuff like that.
Okay.
I'm thinking to myself, man, come on. Again, another reason why I want to leave and go across the river.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about this. Okay, now every episode we try and make it a point to remember the fact that Luke here is a Marine veteran. So props to Luke, and thanks for your service, bro. With that said,
what?
Are you ever thinking about taking your opinions, like, political?
Political?
I mean, you are technically,
I'm going to run for governor.
Qualified, right? You want to sell Obama a seat?
I've done drugs. I paid for sex. And I have...
There it is. Everybody wants a politician who tells the truth.
See what else? I've done it all. No, I've lived Vegas. I've been to other countries.
I don't know.
And partaken in a lot of their customs.
So what did you think about this crazy situation with those dudes in Starbucks?
The 2 gentlemen that were in Starbucks.
Yeah.
Okay, people, if you don't know, this is what happened. Was it...
About 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago?
Yeah,
and which town was it? Was it like a big city?
I'll find it here. I got it on it happened in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah. Yeah, city of brotherly love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The irony.
Philadelphia is Greek for brotherly love, if you didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Alright, check this out. 2 gentlemen. I know it sounds like a joke, because it really is.
Right.
2 gentlemen
two black guys go into a...
Right. Did you hear this joke? Got 2 black guys
Yeah.
walking into Starbucks. And they sat down.
Waiting for their friend.
That's all they were saying. Okay? And what they said was this. Apparently, they're like, yeah, blah, blah. And the lady's like, well, if you don't buy nothing, I'm going to have to ask you gentlemen to leave.
Right.
So pretty much they were just kind of like, must have been mocking her, whatever, girl, get going.
Because in their mind, they're like, man, we're just waiting.
Exactly. That we're just waiting. Yeah, it's true. And that's pretty much as far as the cold, hard facts.
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
The news media people weren't there.
Right.
The only people that were there were the 10 people that might have been in that damn Starbucks shitty coffee anyways.
There was that white lady who was recording them who was like, how come this doesn't happen to us? I wonder why.
But anyways, so yeah. So the lady was like, okay, well, due to my company policies, if you do not buy nothing, then you must leave.
Yeah.
Right. Again, they were told that.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, fine, whatever. Get us 2 waters. $1 bottle of water.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Right.
And they could have stayed.
Right.
because they're paying customers to utilize, the space, basically. Well, they didn't. So the lady's like, well, I'm going to have to force the policy, and I'm going to call the cops.
I just, I don't know, man. It's just strange. Now, I know for a fact that is a policy. How do I know? Because that was one of Jesse's go-to tactics for finding women. Study at the Starbucks. Ooh, maybe she'll get a load of me on my, computer. He was asked to leave a couple times because he'd already had his coffee, but he'd have his coffee like at 10 in the morning. It would be like 4 in the afternoon. You know what I mean? So they'd be like, hey, man.
You better roll.
At this point, you're almost getting to a point to where you got to start paying rent, dude. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It's hard for me to, it's just, in this day and age, it's hard for me to accept little stories like that. Even if I don't know some of the stuff.
And that's just it. Cops did come. They arrested them.
Yeah.
Because they refused to leave.
Right.
Okay. Yes, granted, the guy that they were going to meet up with
showed up,
which was a developer.
Right. Software developer?
No, I think he was like an actual building.
Oh, okay. Developer. Okay.
Engineering developer of situation. And he actually showed up. And they were getting arrested. And he's like, well, what are you doing with my two friends? Yeah, And
they didn't order. They didn't order the
cops were like, well, we're arresting them because they were being a nuisance.
Trespassing.
They were
trespassing.
And they were, basically trespassing.
Do you remember that time when we walked into?
Do you remember?
We were going to. Well, damn, I don't even think I can say bandits. I think I would have to say angels.
Oh, Quad City Angels. You're Quad City Angels.
Steve and I walked into, God, I want to say it was like a, man, I don't even remember, bro. I want to say it was like a print shop / like they had pad folios and paper and all kinds of it was kind of like a little Staples, but they didn't do all that stuff.
Wait, was it Dick Blick?
I can't remember. I know Steve was there to get like a pad folio, like a little binder or something. And so we were looking around, and then suddenly they came out from the back and they were like, "What do you got in your pocket?" You remember that?
Yeah, it was a long.
And then we were like, "What the fuck?" Like, no, hell no. I remember I was the first thing that I said. I was like, "Oh, hell no, dude." And Steve was like, "What?" And then they started basically, thinking that we were taking shit.
Right. Yeah, I think it was Dick Blick.
Was it Dick Blick?
Down by South Park.
Was it not by? Okay, yeah.
It was down by South Park.
Yeah. So we were there, and then, and then they were very, very apologetic because they found nothing on our persons. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, dude, we just got, you know what I'm saying? We just got labeled.
I'm not saying that we didn't have sticky fingers back in the day, because that's we get street cred.
We had the reputation. Yeah, we had the reputation. But I don't know, man. It's now, let's say, for instance, that became something in the news. What would people? How do you think people would have that mentality? Like, well, we really weren't there, even though we know.
We got 3 Latinos that were arrested today at Dick Blick.
Yeah. I just, man, dude.
Yeah, that's what it'd be.
Yeah.
And that thing would be national.
Yeah.
It would be national.
And then people would be talking about, well, we really weren't there, so we don't know what they were doing.
Yes, my name's Luke Saucedo, and I was mistreated in this store.
Yeah.
I want it closed. Closed, damn it. No, because that's what it is now.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Mm.
Morally, I think sometimes it's wrong. Not right.
Yeah.
But, man, people are little bitches these days, man. I'm sorry to say, but, man, it's crying foul. If it was me, sir, can you please, you might have to leave.
Right.
Oh, for what reason? I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. You're not ordering anything. Oh, I didn't know that was a policy. Okay, that's cool. Let me go. Get a damn cup of coffee. Okay, granted. That's why I'm going to go to Starbucks. I think the coffee's shit anyways, and I refuse to pay over $1.75 for a freaking glass of damn caca water, okay? I'm just saying. But no, and I'm a Folgers man. I do my own shit. Being arrested, going too far.
Yeah.
Being escorted out of the place, fine.
Right.
It's what it is. Guy that was actually gonna be there and actually showed up, the cops should have turned around and been like, "Oh, okay, well, these guys gotta go because they didn't order nothing." This and that. That dude probably would have been like, "Okay, hold on. Bring me 3 lattes and a grande or whatever, mocha latte, haka, kaka, chickamama."
Yeah.
With breast milk from a Serbian lady. I don't know, man.
Right. Whatever it would have been, yeah.
And situation easily could have been resolved.
Right.
And but this is where I think is the worst thing, and which I think, if anything, is the most insult part, is they shut down that Starbucks.
That's what I was gonna say. Now, is that the franchisees? Okay, because how many did they close down?
Apparently, I think it was statewide.
Yeah. So okay, if they took that hit financially, whose name is on that hit? Is it that franchisee?
Whether I don't think it really matters, for the simple fact being that it's Starbucks.
Right. The corporate name itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for them to right away step in and their HR department, whoa, hold on. Okay, we're gonna close for 2-3 days, and we're gonna do a diversity training. This, in 3 days, you mean to tell me you can possibly put a diversity person on diversity training and get it national wide within that week?
Right. See, it's good to hear you say that because.
Come on.
Yeah, it puts
granted, it's common sense to be sympathetic,
right,
to patrons in a business,
right.
As far as, but then again, where does the insanity stop of people thinking that they deserve something?
Yeah.
For nothing.
Right.
If I had my own taco shop, and some vagrant kids came in, wanted to sit down and just enjoy the smell, and occupy a table that I could be having somebody sit there that gave me money.
Right.
You're gonna eat. Like, hey, get the hell out, kids. Bye. See you.
Right.
And, I'm sorry.
Right.
People in today's age, individuals, think that they have the right to do whatever they want. And
it's an entitlement, and it's just so hard to do that right now. That it's automatically going to create two sides. You know what I mean? There's no way out now. You know what I mean? That's just. I think it's there anyway, but I think it's just hypersensitized.
It is. You got people that are just, they look for stuff like that.
Yeah, and I can't say different.
If it was me getting kicked out of a place, okay, then fine, bye.
Right.
Then all I'm gonna do is just say I'm never gonna come back here again. Even my business.
Right.
But then again, if I'm at some place sitting inside utilizing, then I'm gonna buy something. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put myself in a situation like that.
Right.
Hey, I want to meet you down here at Porky's. Quick meeting.
Yeah.
My fat ass is gonna give me a goddamn tenderloin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I might give me a damn milkshake.
Right. Yeah.
Looking for little Isaac Lar to serve me my shit. No, but yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's common sense.
Did Isaac work there?
Yeah, back in
he
the day.
did, didn't he? Yeah, he did. CBD, bro. Let's talk some CBD. Now, I have had anxiety since I was 13. I don't know if you guys know this. Close friends of my family, my close friends.
Crazy, dog.
So I was diagnosed very young at 13. I had that bike accident that we've talked about. I think that's what did it. But I went through a lot of screening for them to figure it out. I went through a lot of medications for them to figure out which one was the right one. With that said, I talked to my doctor, and a lot of you may know that I used to partake in smoke a lot. What
were you smoking?
I was smoking the herbal cigarette. Now, with that said,
some of that Chiba.
Yeah, there was an attraction to it simply because I went from being a person who was confined, to his house, was scared to socialize, had a radius that I felt comfortable in. Like, I know you guys remember you, Steve, and Daniel going to Muscatine and being stuck out there because they couldn't move. You know what I mean?
What a dick.
So, and that was because I had traveled outside my comfort zone. It sparked an enormous panic attack, an anxiety attack. As I got older, I started noticing that after I was starting to get more into the bud aspect, I realized I was traveling out of my comfort zone, you know what I mean? Without noticing it, you know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden, things were changing. I was becoming social with people. So yeah, next thing I know, I'm living in San Antonio. And I don't think it was until I was there that I was like, wait a minute. How the fuck did this happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, I started tracking back, like, how did I go from being, you know, somebody who had trouble coping with stuff to somebody who had all this confidence and didn't have that issue anymore? Well, I had that talk with my doctor, and then my doctor started telling me, I think the attraction there is more CBD than THC. He said, I think that you would benefit if you were to try CBD. So then with that said, I went up to the head shop because I knew that would be a place that would hold it. Talked to the woman there. Got some, because I'm familiar with some of the stuff they're doing nowadays that I'm not interested in. You know what I mean? But I know they're doing the same thing with CBD.
Yes.
And so with that said, I would rather do that with that to see how that goes over. And you know, I tried it for the first time, and it was like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, so with that reaction, I'm 2 weeks in, dude, and I can't even tell that I had anxiety. You know what I mean? It's like, I got my life back, literally. You know what I mean? I literally feel that way.
So you would say that the clarity of every day, what you would think people that are normal, so like that,
right.
That's what you're experiencing right now.
Yeah, it's I've done a 180, bro. You know what I mean? It's
awesome. I told you,
it's
bro.
crazy, dude. It's like I never had anxiety. It literally feels. I mean, I hear the birds in the morning, and I know it sounds crazy, but I hear the birds in the morning, and I'm like, man, they sound fucking beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember hearing the birds like that since I was 12, dude. But because I had all this shit going on in my mind constantly, dude, that I never had that time to actually listen to the birds. You know what I mean? Like, it was thought after thought after thought after thought, and it was like, you know, this I knew, you know, having had our discussions about CBD and stuff like that, you know, this was definitely something that was going to help me. And so with that said, that's the attraction, and I've realized that now, like, and just to knock down the stigma of it, you know what I mean, it doesn't get you high. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's legal in all 50 states. There's no THC in it at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for those of you who don't know, why don't you tell the viewers what happens when you come back? And you've said it before, but for those who are watching for the first time, what happens when you come back from overseas?
You know, I mean, it varies. Of course, it varies from person to person. You know, or soldier to soldier, marine to marine, whatever have it. You know, there's anxiety.
Yeah.
There's lots of it.
Right.
You know, because it's crazy in the way you think of the all the preparation that you try to make to go overseas, try to get into that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like going into your very first game,
right,
or your very first boxing match, or whatever.
Right.
You know,
What have you?
the butterflies are there. The anxiety is at sky high levels.
Yeah.
And if you never had anxiety,
welcome to the world of anxiety.
It's crazy.
Right.
And you try to push through it. Most people do.
Yeah.
Especially when you're getting to go there, because it's all the training that you might have done.
Right.
Is leading up to this.
Yeah.
Of exactly what you were trained
It's no
to do.
longer a training
Exactly.
process.
So it's a practical application now.
Right.
You know, for your job or whatever you do in the service and stuff like that. And whether you're behind the lines or in the front lines, you know, everybody's got a job. It's very important, no matter what.
Right.
It's a well-oiled machine that needs to work right.
Right.
Otherwise, you know, people get hurt. Lots of people get hurt.
Yeah.
Other things go wrong. And then you're there.
Yeah.
You know, and anxiety is usually suppressed. And it's suppressed over there because it's your daily job of just, I gotta be on my game. I gotta do this and that, blah, blah, you know.
And meanwhile, it's waiting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of doctors, therapists, professionals.
Because they can never put themselves in that position.
They've never been in that position.
Right.
And again, I kind of rip into those people because you can learn things about it in books.
Right.
But if you don't live it, you don't know it.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
You're not watching a movie.
Exactly.
Right.
So along with that, boom, you're on that flight back home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
now you got to take into consideration the amount of time you've been there, right?
Yeah.
And all this anxiety building up and building up and building up.
So now you're back.
Yeah.
You're stateside.
Right.
I mean, you're happy. You're, you know, out of harm's way per se.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every day you wake up, you're in harm's way. But
now, with that said, what do you guys refer to as Molotov cocktail?
Molotov. Well, okay. See, we call it the combat cocktail.
The combat cocktail. Sorry. Yeah.
And what that is when you go seek help, you know, from medical and stuff like that.
PTSD or
and they start giving you these questions, start giving you these evaluations, whatever you want to call it. It's neither one of them.
Right.
It's just, to be honest, it's a hoax. You know, it's sad. So, you know, because
do you feel that way when you're going through it? Like, this is a
you
joke?
know, well, it's a situation of you don't know what's really going on. Cause like I said,
yeah. Naturally,
you know,
if you have anxiety, you don't know what's going on.
Exactly. Or if you do, then you've already been through that system of talking to people, you know, doing this and that. Right. You know what triggers and stuff like that and this and that.
Yeah.
But somebody like me, I never knew what that was. Because I was always just Mr.
Slick.
You know, LIVN, baby, living. You know, but coming back, it kind of sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't tell my family that I was flying back. They didn't know that was They didn't know I was in Peoria or anything like that. I went down to Peoria to that unit and went with them. Awesome, great bunch of guys. I'll be with them next month.
Now, do you feel like mentally, like maybe subconsciously, you needed that, like to go to Peoria and not let your family know you were here?
Well, this is what it was. My job over there was to watch over those guys. That was being a sergeant. That's what you do. And told them, you know, you guys are coming back. You got you. No big deal. You just do what you're supposed to do. Listen to what upper chain has to say. Mm-hmm. Did all that. Come back. All I wanted to do. I think we came back on a Friday, if I'm not mistaken, in February 2005. And I just wanted to go to the hotel, check in, and literally just sleep. It's kind of like cocktails. So just a lot of pills, you know, like anxiety pills, pills to go to sleep, pain meds, you know, all kinds of stuff. And, you know, just like you watch those commercials, you know, if you take this drug, it's going to help you, but it's going to cause your heart to bleed, your colon to bleed. Your pinky toe might grow 6 inches abnormal, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is suicide.
Yeah.
You know, these drugs.
And if you commit suicide, that means the medicine's working.
Yeah. It worked for him.
Yeah.
No, and, you know, it leads into the bigger cause, you know, something like that. But yeah, that's what comes into CBD oils and stuff like that, which
we've talked about Boone Cutler and him advocating for that.
And the whole thing going for that, is just amazing. It's a freaking tidal wave right now, dude. It's sweeping over not only the country, but
so our mentality was to knock down the stigma of what it is. Now, people, it's not marijuana. It is not. It's legal in all 50 states.
You can order it online.
You can order it online. It has many, many, many medicinal benefits. This is CBD right here. Some concentrate. Now, I want to take a little bit of this just to show you guys that I don't get high. Is that yours?
That's one.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to take just a little bit. And you can get it in gummies if you don't smoke. You can get it in spray, right?
Yeah.
With
they actually have lotions now.
They have the lotions?
They have lotion now that, sore muscles, sore backs, pain and,
right.
For neuropathy.
Right.
Basically, you get those needles and pin fillings in your joints, feet,
Hemp, like this is hemp flower, you know what I mean? Which is the same as what would be with THC's pot, but it's not. This is hemp flower of CBD. It has no THC in it. So I like the flower because, I'm old school. And I just put some of the concentrate on top of the flower after I, break it down or whatever. And those of you guys who regularly do this or whatever can tell me I'm doing it wrong. Whatever. I don't care. So I'm just going to take a toke,
Perfectly legal.
Perfectly legal, yeah, exactly.
Perfectly legal. Yo, man, hit that shit like it's back in the day, dog.
It's the oil, yeah.
Damn, fool. Puff, good, man. Puff, pass, get. I'm good. I do the oil. I do the oil through the oil drops, people, for pain. 0 THC.
Zero THC. And there it is. I'm just taking my medicine. I feel fine. I feel sharp. No high whatsoever.
And to be honest, there's like no smell.
Right. There's not. Yeah.
It's not. It actually smells like that potpourri.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. I mean, I don't. No, there's a little. It's not a lot, but
it's more of a clarity. Like you can feel it in your head, but it's more like of a clarity, and I don't know. It's hard. You get your sharpness back or whatever. So, but yeah, we advocate for it. If you have any issues, medical issues, go to some of the head shops in town. You can find it. You can even get it at Walmart. So. Going back to our last episode, Opie, you can get it. Go to Facebook or go to our page to get one. I want to reiterate, the price is actually $5 per unit. You can get 3 for $15. Go to Jacob Lee Downey's Facebook page. Let him know you want one. Or contact us and say you got the code ANML. We'll see you guys next episode. You got anything you want to add, bro?
Peace out. Love, peace, hair grease.
Thanks for listening, guys. Subscribe. Go to our Facebook page. Chunky Bananas. We're out.